There is something deeply confusing about estrangement. It's not just the silence. It's the way your entire history suddenly seems to change. Moments you remember clearly, sacrifices you know you made, years you lived through, are suddenly rewritten into something unrecognizable. This is one of the most painful parts of estrangement, not just being cut off, but watching your past be reauthored without your consent. Today, we're going to talk about why estranged children rewrite the past, and why understanding this, without arguing against it, is essential to maintaining your dignity. Section 1. Rewriting the past is not about you. When an adult child rewrites their childhood, it often feels like a personal attack. But most of the time, it isn't about punishing you. It's about protecting themselves. Estrangement creates a psychological problem. To walk away from a parent, a child must believe the separation is justified. And justification often requires a new story. A story where they are the injured party. A story where complexity disappears. A story where doubt is removed. So the past becomes simplified, flattened, and emotionally edited. Section 2. Memory is not a recording. Human memory is not a video file. It's a reconstruction. Each time a memory is recalled, it is reshaped by current emotions. When resentment, anger, or unresolved pain enter the picture, memory follows. Neutral moments fade. Positive moments shrink. Negative moments grow sharper, louder, and more emotionally charged. Over time, the emotional tone becomes the truth. Not because it's accurate, but because it feels consistent. Section 3. Why corrections never work. This is why explaining yourself fails. And why correcting the record backfires. When you say, "That's not what happened," what they hear is, "You're wrong about your pain." When you defend yourself, you unintentionally threaten the narrative that allows them to stay estranged. So the story hardens. Details become more extreme. Motives become darker. And your attempts at clarity are reframed as denial or manipulation. This is not logic at work. It's emotional self-preservation. Section 4. The invisible need beneath the story. Beneath the rewritten past is usually a quiet need. The need to feel justified. The need to feel safe in separation. The need to avoid guilt, doubt, or ambivalence. Admitting complexity would reopen questions, and questions are painful. Certainty feels easier. So the story stays rigid, not because it's true, but because it works. Section 5. What calm dignity looks like here. Calm dignity does not require you to agree with a false version of your life, but it also does not demand that you fight it. You are allowed to hold your truth without forcing it onto someone who is not ready to hear it. You do not need to prove your reality to someone who benefits from denying it. Dignity is knowing who you were, even when someone else tells a different story. Closing. Estrangement often rewrites the past because the present feels unbearable otherwise. Understanding this won't remove the pain, but it can remove the confusion. And clarity is where calm dignity begins. In the next video, we'll talk about why apologies rarely end estrangement, and why saying "I'm sorry" often deepens the divide instead of healing it. Until then, hold your ground quietly. You do not need to rewrite yourself.